So my name is Paul Harvey and I am the host at Life, Passion and Business. Now that podcast has been running since January 2018. I launched the podcast in a response, in a way, to my father died the previous February, and it took me nearly a year to get to the point where I released the podcast. But it came out of my recognition, my realization that my father had lost the will to live over the last 5 years of his life. And I recognized similar traits in myself. I recognized that I had kind of like lost my way in what I wanted out of life. And I can't say I'm driven for what I want out of life, and I'm not sure I ever will be. But I do know that I set this podcast up because I wanted to hear other people's stories, what other people thought about what this life was about. And so that's what the podcast was for. And over those 2 years, I have met some amazing people. I've done probably nigh on 80, 90 probably recordings. And I've certainly released 70 of them, and some of them never went anywhere, or some of them are still waiting to go out. The net result is I have met some amazing people on the journey. I've got some amazing people that I know that I think in these rather unusual times that we have, we could bring together something to support and help people. And I can kick myself really, because I had this impulse to do a live event last December, and at the time an offer came up for a piece of software that allows you to run live events, and I bought the software. So I've got the tools in place to do this process, and just by the sheer things going on this year, namely losing lots of clients early in January, that I didn't get my arse into gear and get this thing rolling. And I wish I had now, because it would have been rolling like in the next week or so. But so that puts me back to this idea, well, hang on a minute. Maybe it's time to just do something anyway and do it quick. So I put this out to you guys because I think there's an opportunity to put something out in the world. Now, I don't know what that looks like at the moment because I don't have all the answers. So I'm open to suggestions what it looks like. I think it definitely needs to be dealing with passion. It definitely needs to be dealing with purpose and meaning. It certainly needs to be dealing with fear and probably something to do with money or abundance. And it certainly needs to be dealing with how to cope with the situation that people find themselves in. Because we could be in this situation for 4+ months. So we are moving into a new paradigm, and for one, I think it's an incredibly exciting time. I am really excited about the possibility that we have here to change what we've been doing for so long. Well, I don't think that the directional path we were heading in was particularly healthy. Hey, but I hope humanity has the wisdom to change, and we come out of this different to how we went into it. We'll see. Time will tell. But maybe it's up to us in this kind of thing to invent that new paradigm. So look, this is my conversation. This is what I'm putting out into the world. I want to do something. Now, the question is several things here that need to answer. What is it? What do we put together? And the next question is, what time frame? How long do we need? How quickly do we do this? Do we do it 2 weeks? Do we do it before Easter, after Easter? When do we do this? And I don't know the answers. I would love your viewpoints on this. So that's it. That's me telling you about my ideas for it, or what I think can be done with it, and open to suggestions. Interesting fact to point out to you, my podcast has suddenly seen a surreal drive up in this last week. So clearly it's moving because people have got more time. And just so that you know, the majority of my listeners on my podcast are US citizens. So I have very much a US following on the podcast. But it will be great to grow a UK following as well. So I can kind of rattle on this. Look, let's communicate. Let's find a way. I'll put a booking link below so you can book some time with me and have a conversation. Book a time and we can have a chat about it. All right? I would love to get this thing moving quickly. I would like to do it really fast, but I also need some. I need to possibly my enthusiasm needs tempering a little bit. Who knows? Get in touch. I would love to hear from you. All the best.